Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Vandalia By The Way. My name is Rich Hopkins. I'm the communications manager for the city. And on today's program, we'll take you out to the Vandalia Recreation Center where plans are underway for the spookiest wellness fair you've ever heard of. We're also going to stop by the Vandalia Division of Fire and watch as they dedicate their new fire station, which will serve as the division's headquarters. And we've got great news on the Vandalia business front, a couple of local businesses doing very well in this trying economy. But our first stop today is right here in this empty field. Now, we're into the month of October, and as you look around, most of the trees are still hanging on to those leaves. But we all know as the temperature gets colder, those leaves are going to fall, and when they do, they're picked up and taken somewhere. That somewhere is right here. Leaf collection in Vandalia is a pretty big undertaking these days as the big leaf vac trucks wind through Vandalia on pre-selected routes, picking up those last hangers-on of the fall. Public Works Supervisor Steve Nichols says this year Vandalia will make 4 separate sweeps through the city.
Leaf collection in the city of Vandalia starts on October 11th. We go to each residence 4 times between October 11th and December the 7th. You can find our leaf schedule on the city's website. We either send out a vac truck to the area and they'll pick up the leaves at the curb.
If your neighborhood has curbs, you're being asked to rake the leaves into the street about a foot or so past the curb. That way any water can still run along that curbside. And if there is no curb, just rake your leaves to the edge. Nichols says curb or no curb, one thing remains the same. Never park your car on top of a leaf pile.
No, you should never park your car on top of a leaf pile. The hot catalytic converter or the muffler could cause a fire, and then some people forget and leave the car on top of the leaves when we're supposed to pick them up. So we ask that you do not park the car on the leaves at any time.
Nichols and his crew have all the equipment they need to pick up leaves, but that's it. The equipment will bog down and break if things like tree brush or grass trimmings are thrown into the mix.
So we ask that you do not put any limbs, any pumpkins or corn stalks. Just put leaves out, no grass or any other yard waste, and we will get it picked up on our schedule.
Again, the collection schedule is posted online at the City of Vandalia website, vandaliaohio.org. And while we're talking about the change in seasons, we should mention that Vandalia's Housing and Code Enforcement Officer, Kip Milliken, is transitioning to the fall as well. Milliken says his office has to change their mindset as the temperatures and leaves begin to fall, and one of the primary things they look for is what you might be raking to the curb.
We're seeing a lot of brush being taken to the street, which is against city code. You can get rid of that brush. You can bundle it. Rumpke will take it, but it's got to be no longer than 4 feet by 2 feet, and it must have a paper bag attached to it, and you can obtain those yard waste bags from Ken's Pharmacy.
Outside of leaf collection, Milliken says many folks use the fall to winterize their RVs and clean out their garages.
We're looking at RVs being brought home. Not for them to be stored on the driveway, but you can park them next to the side behind the front setback for storage. We're looking for people cleaning out their garage. They're just relocating it maybe to the back of the house, taking it out of the garage, putting it to the back of the house so they have room for the car for the winter, and that's definitely against city code. You can't have outdoor storage such as junk and rubbish.
If you have specific questions about any Vandalia housing code, contact Kip Milliken at 415-2307. And from October Leaves to October Wellness, the Vandalia Department of Parks and Recreation is planning the ultimate Halloween wellness fair. It's so much into the Halloween spirit that they're calling the event Well-O-Ween.
We're going to have health and fitness vendors from around our community. It's a free event, again from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, October 30th. Come dressed in a costume if you like. You're going to go around, visit the booths if you want to give blood that day. You know, starve a vampire, save a life. You can give blood that day. And Mix 107.7 will be here doing a radio remote. You can get lots of free stuff, free candy. Check out the rec center, see what we have to offer. It's just a great day for the family.
So go ahead and mark your calendar now for Well-O-Ween, Saturday, October the 30th from 10 until 2 at the Vandalia Recreation Center. There's no admission price to get in. Just show up, and costume or not, you're in business. And talking about business, there's lots of great news to report on the economic development front as a couple of local businesses are making plans to grow in the coming months. Assistant City Manager Rob Anderson says that one of those companies was getting courted by that state up north to pack up and move.
We had a really good win, a really good save, if you will, with Intiva deciding to relocate within Vandalia. It was a regional effort really to keep them in Ohio because the other location they were looking at is their home office in Troy, Michigan. So between the state of Ohio, Montgomery County, the Dayton Development Coalition, and the city of Vandalia, did a great job of retaining them in Vandalia for us.
Anderson says right now Intiva employs about 100 people while leasing space in the Delphi building. Sometime next year, they'll move to this facility located in the Northwoods Business Park. And on top of their decision to move was a decision to grow as well.
We anticipate over the next 3 to 5 years adding another 20, so could be at 120, 125 people, and these are engineering type jobs, so good paying jobs, a really good payroll for us to keep in town.
Also staying put for the foreseeable future is the Delphi plant situated at I-75 in Northwoods. Just a few short years ago, there was talk of Vandalia losing this plant and the jobs that came with it. But the latest word is that not only will Delphi be staying, but the company will be growing as well.
In the shakeout of the Delphi across the country, we've really been fortunate to keep one of only 3 Delphi plants in the U.S. in Vandalia. And they've really started to turn that business around and really starting to get some new business, which has necessitated them to hire about 100 new people to take on the work that they've been given over the last couple of years. If everything goes according to their plan and they get as much work as they anticipate, they could hire as many as 300 new people in the next 5 years.
And finally today we go from businesses on the move to a fire station opening up a new location. The Vandalia Division of Fire broke ground last year on a new fire station to strategically locate resources to Vandalia's West End. Well, this past month, that new station was dedicated in a stirring ceremony. Fire Chief Chad Follick says it's clear to him that the community is squarely behind this move.
We were very pleased and surprised with the turnout we had for the dedication ceremony on Monday. We had a variety of community figures, citizens, and employees that have retired or moved on to other positions that just want to come in and see the facility and see what, some of them were here when we started the project and some of them have been gone for a while, but it was interesting to see the large outpouring of support from the community and those around us.
The new facility will feature one amenity the old headquarters had simply run out of: space.
I think it's going to heighten our ability to deliver service. I think we've been cramped in quarters for a long period of time now, especially since we started improving service by staffing 24 hours a day. We've shown you probably through video or pictures living conditions at Station 3 now. This facility is a remarkable change and welcome change, especially to the guys. So it's going to improve our ability to deliver service. It puts us in a better position in the community to widen our net of coverage. With a crew on the east end and a crew on the west end, we can converge in the center portion of the city. We've been able to better up the percentage of rapid response that we've been promising for a long time.
One question that gets asked quite often is what the plans may be for the old headquarters on Dixie, which is now known as Fire Station Number 3. Follick says that even though the administrative offices have moved out, the building will still serve some purpose.
We're going to use it for storage, but we're going to keep reserve equipment there. It could be staffed by volunteers, the reserve equipment could. Also, our training guys are going to use it. It's a good resource for us to have. Central part of the city. We can bring both companies together and still be well within the response area. And plus it'll afford us an opportunity to do some inside training, which we haven't had the opportunity to do. A large open area in the back that will allow us to do some training that we don't want to do in other places. So it's gonna serve its good purpose. We're gonna hang on to it as a facility just to ensure that in a later date we don't need to relocate resources there and improve service.
Now that the station's open, many folks have commented on how nice the fire station looks inside. As you can see, the kitchen behind me is a great upgrade from the circa 1960 kitchen in the old fire station number 1. But one of the true amenities of this building is right down this hallway here. That's where there are 4 sleeper rooms, so our 24-hour staff have a place to sleep overnight. That's going to do it for this edition of Vandalia By The Way. I'm Rich Hopkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.